Oh, all right. This is my review for Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. So, I love this movie. I love this movie for so many different reasons. And I feel like some people are going to not like this movie. Some people are going to like this movie. And just because sometimes in the movie gets really wild and really outlandish, some people might think, maybe like, oh, that's too crazy. But I had a lot of fun with this movie. This movie is extremely fun. It has a lot of heart. And I think that's what most movies miss the point on sometimes. Sometimes they go for so much different things and just don't have that heart. They lose that heart in it. And the heart is center in this film, really center. And there's a lot of themes in this film. There's themes of, I don't want to spoil anything, so I gotta, I think I will eventually do a spoiler review most likely. What I'll say is this: themes of family, whether it be a father and a son or a mother and a son. Like, there's themes of family. There's themes of technology, AI, VR headsets, all these different things. Like, we live in a time where we see the future moving in different ways. You know what I mean? And I felt watching this film, my entire theater was locked in, and I always turn my phone off before the movie starts. But this movie in particular, when the movie started, I was like, oh yeah, this is definitely a movie where people should be turning off their phones, because I was locked in. It was very entertaining. The subject matter was just it was intense, because you could see the reality of it. You could see like certain things like this film kind of happening in real life. So it's kind of scary, but then it's also kind of interesting at the same time. So it's interesting in a lot of ways. And a part of me really felt when I was watching this movie, like how people must have felt when they watched The Matrix for the first time. And I know that may be high praise to some people who have Matrix on a pedestal, as it should be. The Matrix is very good. But this movie is up there. Like, in a few years, people might dismiss this movie, whatever it may be. But I hope that this movie finds its crowd and finds its people, because this movie is phenomenal in more ways than one. And if you see, you understand what I mean when I'm talking about The Matrix. Just like finding people on a mission, and like knowing stuff about the future, and just like this dystopian societies and post-apocalyptic worlds. It's sci-fi, it's adventure, it's a lot of intense, awesome stuff. And then what I will say here is the characters at the center of this film. The characters, they know how to make you care for certain characters, and they know how to do a good amount of backstory in certain characters at some points in the film to make you really care for these people, really care about their journey. And there was not one story that they told when they went to a different character that I didn't care about. I cared about everyone, and it's so good. But yeah, every character you feel for. And then the movie does something here where it's, some movies do this. Some movies have unlinear storytelling, where they go back and forth in certain areas of the story. And for some films it works. For this film, it works very well. And it works extremely well, almost to a detriment, because there's parts of the film where they're showing a different piece of the puzzle. They're showing a different person on the squad that he's going back in time to get these people to help fix the future and do something in their time now, and take them on this adventure and this journey. And when they go back and show some of these stories for some of the characters on this journey, some of their stories are so interesting that I'm like, damn, I feel like I'm watching another movie. I want to keep going in this story. And then it goes back to the present time, and I'm like, oh, I'm still interested in this story, but that was extremely interesting. And then when they do it again, I'm like, I didn't think I was going to be interested, but I was. By the end, it's like your heart is breaking for each one of these stories. And also, this movie does an interesting thing where when it wants you to feel like you want to cry, you feel like you want to cry. When it wants to make you laugh, you laugh. Like, I was literally had tears coming from my eyes because I was laughing so hard. Because when I'm in the theater, I try to be polite. I try not to laugh too hard. And I'm like this, I'm literally like, yo, like I was holding in so much laughter, but I laughed a bit. And everyone in my theater was laughing. Like, I feel like everyone in this theater found at least one part of it funny, one part of it dramatic or terrorizing or horrific. There's parts of this film that feels like a horror film in a certain way when you think about the reality of certain situations and the life we live and technology and different things like that, because it's based in some type of reality. So that's what makes it a bit scary in some elements. And in some parts you see almost like a parody of like life in a way, but you also realize that could actually happen. We live in a world that you could see that actually happen. You could see these type of people in real life, and it makes the movie that much greater because you're like, oh my God, I know that type of person. Or, oh my God, corporations definitely do this. And oh my God, what if that's happening? You know, people are going to theorize and whatever they want from this film, but I thoroughly enjoyed this film. I was locked in the whole time. What I will say is this, the movie is a bit long, but I love every second of it. Even when it ended, I could see some people having a gripe with the way it ends in a way, but I didn't mind the ending because it gave me multiple bits of kind of what I want, but ultimately it wasn't really what you call a Hollywood ending, and I really did enjoy it, but it also kind of was in a way. Like, I would say check it out if you like, but I totally enjoyed this film. Sam Rockwell was amazing, and it's so funny because I always think of him as Justin Hammer, the guy from Iron Man 2, I believe, and he's just such a great actor. He has such good charisma. He's just so perfect, and it's interesting because now that I think about it, you know who else could have been great in this role? Robert Downey Jr. Robert Downey Jr. He could have been great in this film too, so that would have been an interesting take. But damn, man. Oh my gosh. This film, like, I doubt that I'm going to see a film that's better than this for the entire year. I doubt it because you could feel the love in this film. You could feel the creative energy in this film. You could feel people who made this film cared about it. And it wasn't just the action being great. It wasn't just the characters being great. It was everything colliding together. The effects, the practical mix, the CG, everything was like so on point that you just know they cared about it. And you made us care about it. Made my audience care about it. And as someone who, like, you know, tries to use less time on their phone, you know, put it away sometimes, go out in nature and stuff, we all kind of want those things at certain points, but you can understand how technology could try to hijack our senses, and it is in some certain points, in certain aspects, you know what I mean? So I like this movie on more of a deeper level, but I think there's a lot of people could love in this film. Like I said, I would put this up there with like Matrix and sci-fi post-apocalyptic films, or just sci-fi movies. This is more of a sci-fi adventure, and there's drama, there's heart, and it really gets to a point at some points in this film where there's extremely dark humor, and I was laughing. Everyone was laughing. There's parts where I was like, wait, maybe that wasn't as funny as I thought, and some people are laughing. It's like, everyone got their joke. Everyone got a moment to feel like, oh my God, am I supposed to be laughing at this? Like, my cheeks were hurting. I was like, oh my God, this movie is making me feel everything. And then some of these characters, I'm looking at them like, damn, like, I feel bad for them, and then you don't want to lose them. And this journey, it's a very interesting premise. You know, this guy's coming from the future. And you know what? People say, yeah, there's a lot of films like people come from the future, but it's about how you do it. You know what I mean? Like, everyone eats a sandwich, everyone eats macaroni, everyone has a pasta, whatever you think, everyone has a pizza. The point is, how do you put those ingredients together? And this movie does it in a beautiful form and fashion. And I would highly recommend checking it out. Highly recommend it. And I will probably see this movie at least one more time. I probably will. It was amazing. And the actresses and the actors, even the side characters, everyone's performing at the top, the pinnacle of their acting and actress abilities. They're doing it so perfect. This film, and parts of this movie almost feels like a parody of life in a way, but they do it, and parts of the film almost feels like a skit in a way, but it's so professional and so well done, and everyone's so serious about it that the funny moments are so hilarious, and then it works so well. I don't want to make this longer than it has to be, but I enjoyed the heck out of this movie. Check it out if you can. It's Dejo, know the name, spread love and light, and let's take care. Let's sign off with let's do it like a bazooka.